Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're going to be taking a look at the K-Dance Challenge from Street Man Fighter. This challenge is going to be between WeDemBoyz and 1MILLION. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's going to be very interesting what we see, and I think just the tracks, just looking, it'll be an EXO, right? Overdose and Coco Bop. So I'm curious as to what they're going to be bringing to the table for this. Let's go ahead and watch.
남자들의 춤싸움 Mnet 스트릿맨 파이터
Alright.
K-댄스 미션 위댐보이즈 대 1밀리언 두 크루 중 더 뛰어난 크루에게 투표해주세요.
Who we are? 위댐보이즈.
Who we are? WeDemBoyz. Let's go! Whoa, that was cool. Wow. Wow. The fact that had to be replicated. Whoa! This is so fun, guys. Yeah. Wow. Oh. This is WeDemBoyz choreo, right? Yeah. Really? They're really not playing. They're trying to be as rude as possible to each other. Oh, this ending screen is killing me, guys. I swear to you. Oh, man. Oh, man. Some of you have already heard me say this. I'm going to say it probably every single time we watch these. I hate the fact Choom did this. Their ending screen, you notice, I couldn't even see probably a good maybe 5-10 seconds of what WeDemBoyz did. I knew enough to kind of get my vibe across, but also I hate the fact they did the split screen. I don't need that. You just put a little banner like what they did in season 2, which I'm glad they made that change because I bet there's a lot of people who probably complained about it like me. I'm not a fan of that because I will be able to compare just by watching them separately, and it'll ruin the vibe and it'll ruin the flow. Man, luckily I've already reacted to an earlier one, so I was able to know how to watch it. But it really can just suck the life out of you, and it has nothing to do with them, and it's really setting them up, in a different way. I can compare them without you having to split screen it for me, and if I really wanted a split screen, then I would make one, honestly. So, from the top though, I absolutely love this beginning. I was so curious how they were going to do it because normally, like with EXO, they had their feet spread and they created a circle and the camera went through the circle. So this was super cool. That was like with the one hand and then the second hand and then flung to the other side. That was so good. That was probably the coolest opener I think I've seen from the K-pop challenge and all the ones I've seen. I'll say he was just a tad bit unstable there with his foot. That was cool with the controlling. Boom, boom. That was sick. Yeah. Now, my question is, did they actually bleed it out all the way through the end of that? Let's see. I don't know if they did. Oh, they did. They did. How he waved it, it was just because he was wearing black. It's really hard to see, but I really liked that. Yeah, so this is choreo by WeDemBoyz. Copy by 1MILLION. Oh, so this is WeDemBoyz's choreo. Yeah, how they're throwing it is boom. That kind of throw is so cool. With the throwdown. Then they had somebody go. Oh my gosh, man. That's low-key rude. You know what I mean? I wonder if they did that on purpose. I'm assuming they did because 1MILLION retaliated and had 2 people do it. That's just what it feels like. That was so sick how they kept this dun, 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 through the whole thing. I was not expecting that. Like, and I think that's something that has WeDemBoyz has a really good quality about them, is they're able to take a groove and they're able to elevate it just a little bit, but also you can see where that groove came from. It's super cool. Yeah. Yeah. Super fun, and I love the peel out of the rolling. That was super fun. Hey. That was cute. A little. And him dropping and doing that, doing it with the kicks, was super sick. Now this says Amul Copy by WeDemBoyz. The choreos by 1MILLION. Now I'm not gonna watch 1MILLION because I'll see you later. This was cool. The setup's really nice. Here we go. They go around and they melt through. Yeah. I'm curious how 1MILLION approached it. Now I'm gonna try to see through what they're doing. Very clean in the execution I'm seeing from them. It's very clear with what I'm able to see from them. It also looks like he hit it well. He could have done a minor fall. I don't know because I couldn't see the hands because freaking Choom needs to get their in screens in check. Bless it. Okay. But yeah, the ending, I really liked it. I know that was 1MILL's choreo, right? I mean, honestly, this was really good. I think it was a really good challenge seeing this. It makes me excited to see what 1MILLION brought, if that was their choreo that had to be copied. Because the thing is if you're gonna make somebody replicate your choreo, you better own it yourself if you're gonna make it that difficult.
두 크루 중 더 뛰어난 크루에게 투표해 주세요.
Inspire millions. 1MILLION.
Let's go. Here we go. Ooh, this was a decent matchup. That was cool. Wow, that was cool. Okay. Nice. The fact they got somebody to do that was good. Very clean. So they're taking a very clean approach. I will say though that some of their grooves, like I'm not seeing a lot of their grooves. I love that straddle split situation. That is very tricky. Yeah, 3 people do it. Okay. Hey, how they're doing their choreo is nice. Okay. Okay. So I just figured something out here by reacting to this. Because Choom did what they did with the end screens, what I can do is use the split screen to my advantage. Whatever this right here, this trailer looks cool. I know it's the battle trailer. I don't want to watch it right now. I want to watch this. So going back, because remember I said I couldn't see what WeDemBoyz was doing. Now I'm gonna see if I can see it, because I can see whether or not he landed it from here. So I'm actually gonna watch WeDemBoyz tackle his choreo real quick. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Wow! WeDemBoyz nailed that choreo. Okay. But I know once we get there, I'm actually going to go back to the other video and I'm going to watch what 1MILLION did. But going back to the beginning here, they picked a very creative way to go about this beginning for Overdose as well. Now, out of the two, who do I think had the most creative one? I honestly think WeDemBoyz did, because what was nice about it is whenever it was his arm choices of when he chose to control whoever he did. It was very surprising, and it took me a second to figure out what he actually did, but not out of confusion, but out of appreciation, and I really love that. Here, we've seen that kind of kick transition before. I haven't seen it in a circular motion like this, but I've understood the gimmick before. But I really like the choice, though. It's still competitive. They are very clean. I will say too, they're all wearing the same thing, and I will say this, whenever you have a group that wears the exact same thing, it will help your cleanliness score. They will look cleaner. Downside to this is if you're dealing with a K-pop group that everybody has their own individuality about them, you may run into the problem of you kind of just look like backup dancers. You don't look like the group itself, you know. And EXO is the group itself, and honestly I don't know what the criteria is for the K-dance. I know it's the K-pop artists of that, and I love that when he jumped and they just all changed. It was a great visual. Yeah, so that's just my overall note. You do run a risk whenever you wear different things, like what WeDemBoyz did, but you also run the risk when everybody wears the same thing, because it could make you guys not look as individuals, right? When it could work in your favor, but here it works well for them. This is very clean. Yeah, I will say though, they're very clean. They're throwing it well. But there is a certain level of essence that WeDemBoyz has with their choreo, and I'm going to say it again, it reminds me of Black Flag. Black Flag, if you don't know who they are as a crew, and Rin, his last name, they're from the Bay Area, I think. They're based in the US, and they have this viral kind of swag and vibe about them, and he's actually a very good teacher whenever he teaches his stuff, and I've taken from him before. So what's interesting about this is that WeDemBoyz, because they're all wearing something different, they are clean, but they bring in this kind of there's a certain vibe and essence that they're carrying that makes the choreography work with their context of their set. And then when you see 1MILLION do it, they're taking, I feel like it's more of they're throwing their head back just like WeDemBoyz is. And it's very strong and clean. But it doesn't, when they do the leans, it just feels like choreography instead of we are vibing out, you know, and there's a difference there. And they did have a guy technically do it, but the guy from WeDemBoyz executed it better, obviously because they were the ones that came up with it, or they did it, right? Very cool here, and the blowing it out. They have really great gimmicks and great dynamics, which is super cool. And honestly, I think that if 1MILLION or WeDemBoyz were up against other crews, now we haven't seen all of them, I've only seen one other mashup or challenge at this time, I think they could have possibly both have won if they were against other crews. But this is this is strong from both of them. I will say 1MILLION has a bigger fan base, I think, than WeDemBoyz. I don't know though. Remember, I have no clue. Yeah. This beginning, this is really nice, and this feels like 1MILLION just with the drops. And we've also saw in their crew preview that they did something similar to that, but they grabbed their face instead. So we've already seen that fingerprint of what they've done before. Could that affect their creativity? If I'm going in show order, I would say yes. They're hitting, that wasn't as clean. Yeah, and that's what's interesting is that they, on WeDemBoyz side, they did it at the same time, but here they did not do it at the same time. Look, ready? So they draw at the same time, and I think that affected their cleanliness score, especially if it's their choreo. I don't know if they rank it like more harsh. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do because the rest of it actually stems from this. Let me go back to WeDemBoyz take, hashtag YouTube Premium for the win. So going back over here, it's clean. Like, you cannot negate the fact that they're both really clean here. But I'm gonna tell you what, I really think WeDemBoyz executed the breaking sections of both excerpts because they both did it, remember? They executed it better. They really did. And I wonder, because when you're battling against cleanliness, that's one thing. Both of them are very clean. They own their choreo. It was awesome. Both of them were fabulous. But remember, they are compared. And if I were a judge and I had to compare the two, and fan base doesn't matter, there's a chance one has a significantly higher fan base than the other, but if I'm going off of my opinion based on what I saw out of the two, I think WeDemBoyz took the win. I don't think it was by a huge margin, but I do think that they won, strictly because when you look at the replication of choreography, WeDemBoyz held their own with their own choreography, and I think they executed 1MILLION slightly better in the breaking section. specifically. They did a very good job. They made it mesh, and their choreography meshed really well throughout all of it with 1MILLION. Part of, not all of it, some of their sections were really cool and super engaging and captivating, but some of their sections really just felt like intense choreography when you wanted to just feel like the song. Like, there's a difference between I'm doing choreography to a track and I am feeling the song through movement. Like, there's this very slight difference. It comes with how your carriage or your texture, that's where your texture comes in, and that's why it's so important for dancers to develop that within themselves, because that helps you be able to communicate your movement more effectively. And so for me, it's just, remember, this goes back to, it's just my opinion, and I also don't know who won either of these challenges, because so far no one's eliminated at this point, so I don't know who won or who lost. But I would vote Boyz out of the two of them in this particular challenge for the reasons I stated before, but also I think both held their own mighty fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. I'm really enjoying the Street Man series, and if you are on Patreon, you know that I have been marathoning through the Street Man Fighter series for a little bit, and I'm very excited to continue just reacting through content. If you are seeing it on YouTube, there's a good chance that this content's been out for a while on Patreon. So if you want more of the action on Street Man Fighter, Street Woman Fighter, and other reaction videos that I have, you can definitely go over to Patreon and check that out. There's many options for everybody. You get early access, ad-free content, and you get to vibe out with other enthusiasts in the community and hang out with me too. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.